Good day everyone. By the way, I am Felny Jasanti Ehe, a BE Ed 2 student, and today I will be discussing the UDHR, or the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now, even though I know that you're all familiar on what human right is since it has been discussed in our elementary days and high school days, but as a review, let us first know what human right is. So, human right is the basic rights and freedoms that belong to every person in the world, from birth until death. These basic rights are based on shared values like dignity, fairness, equality, respect, and independence. These values are defined and protected by law. Now, let us know what are the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and what are the articles behind it. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights articulates fundamental rights and freedoms for all. It is a milestone document in the history of human rights drafted by representatives with different legal and cultural backgrounds for all regions of the world. The Declaration was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on December 10, 1948. It is a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations. It sets out for the first time fundamental human rights to be universally protected, and it has been translated into over 500 languages. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is widely recognized as having spread and paved the way for an adoption of more than 70 human rights treaties applied today on a permanent basis at global and regional levels, and all are containing references to it in their preamble. So now, next slide is the preamble. By the way, preamble is an introductory statement of a legal document, which is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Within it are the reasons and intent on the approbation of the human rights itself. So that the preamble state there that the reason why human right is being declared. So, the preamble states that whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, peace in the world. Another, whereas disregard and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind, and the advent of a world in which human beings shall enjoy freedom of speech and belief, and of course freedom from fear, and want has been proclaimed as the highest aspiration of the common people. Another, whereas it is essential if man is not to be compelled to have recourse, as a last resort, to be rebellion against tyranny and oppression, that human rights should be protected by the rule of law. By the way, tyranny is a cruel or unfair treatment, and oppression is unjust exercise of authority and power. Another preamble states that whereas it is essential to promote the development of friendly relations between nations. Next, whereas the people of the United Nations have in this charter reaffirmed their faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person and in the equal rights of men and women, and have determined to promote social progress and better standards of life in larger freedom. Another is whereas member states have pledged themselves to achieve in cooperation with the United Nations the promotion of universal respect for and observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Whereas a common understanding of these rights and freedom is of the greatest importance for the full realization of this pledge. Now, therefore, the General Assembly proclaims this Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations, to the end that every individual and every organ of society, keeping this declaration constantly in mind, shall strive by teaching and education to promote respect of these rights and freedoms, and by progressive measures, national and international, to secure their universal and effective recognition and observance both among the peoples of member states themselves and among the peoples of territories under their jurisdiction. Now we have here the articles which we shall follow and remember. Article number 1 states that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reasons and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Article number 1 is about since we are now born free and has equal dignity and rights, thus it is our responsibility to remember that we should make sure that our actions are right. Next is article number 2. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of the political, jurisdictional or international status of the country or territory to which person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, non-self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. So, this means that walay ipalabi. All are equal as stated in this article. No matter what your status are, the same ragod ta. Even if you're a politician, even if rich ka, but through this law, equal ang tanan. Now we have here article number 3, which states that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. So, if feeling nimo nga natumban imong katungod as a person, then you have the right to complain. If imong security is at risk, then you can also call the assistance from the authority. Next is article number 4, which states that no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. This article means nga, di ba, sa una nga time, common manggod ni kaayon ang slavery and even child labor. But now, since we are all protected by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, I think naa siya pero minimal na lang. And number one way para ma-prevent ni is to report and inform the higher officials nga ikaw under ka sa term nga slavery or naka-experience ka ana or even child labor. Next is Article number 5. Article number 5 states that no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Diba, even our parents, dili pwede mo pasakit nato because of the law. But I think naaman po rights ang atong parents nga mo discipline nato. But dili jud pa sa labian na ay limitation. Next is Article number 6. Article number 6 states that everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. So, Article number 6 means that everyone has the right to recognize wherever you go. Kalagmitan, diba, na ay times nga if marag ato kas grupo nga nalahi ka, common ang discrimination. Muna siya'y kalagmitan mahitabo. But you have the right to complain because naman tayo law against ana. Abik na may uban nga abi kay dili ta part sa ilang nationality, dili we are discriminated, but it's very wrong because we have the right to be there. Next article is Article number 7. Article number 7 states that all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. So, Article number 7 is connected gyapon siya. Ang main purpose gud anin nga article is to protect all humans. And sa article number 7, makonect tong, like example, bullying. Common man na siya sa school, even up until now. Wala lang gyud na hunahuna sa mga tao nga na possibility na later on mo bounce back ra gihapon nila ng ipang buhat nila. They did not think first before doing or before discriminating, before bullying their classmates. Next is Article number 8. Article number 8 states that everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution or by law. So, this article is you have the right to recover with the help of the government authorities. Next is Article number 9. In this article, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. This means that no one shall be arrested or detained or exiled without a particular reason. So, bisan pagganig na ay reason, pero walay evidence, de wala gyapon katungod ang tawon. Even though na evidence, moagi pagyapon sa process. Next article is Article number 10. Article number 10 states that everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal in the determination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charge against him. So, even if naakay as like as what I have said in article number 9, even if na kay criminal charges, you have the right to have a lawyer nga mulaban nimo mo nang naipaw. Kay if you don't have the money to support or to pay for your attorney, na ay public attorney's office nga andam mutabang. Next is article number 11. In article number 11, it states that everyone charged with a penal offense has the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to law in a public trial at which he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defense. Another is no one shall be held guilty of any penal offense on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offense under national or international law at the time when it was committed, nor shall a heavier penalty be imposed than the one that was applicable at the time the penal offense was committed. So, in this article, kailangan moagi pa sa trial court before ka mo ma-proven nga guilty, and it takes a lot of process. You have the right to ano na kay katungod nga even though nakapatay ka, nagyap mo kay katungod nga mo kuan sa imong kaugalingon kay namay uban nga it's because of nang self-defense siya. So itagaan kag right nga mo laban or mo kuan para sa imong kaugalingon. Para mo gamay-gamay pud imuhang kuan, imuhang regression perpetua. Ang kana ay mo gamay imuhang kuan manggod kanang year ba nang pagkakulong ba na namamainusan imuhang kuan charges. Next is article number 12. In article number 12, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to the protection of the law against such interference or attacks. So, this means that unreasonable act of involvement, like, for example, naakasbalay nga, sulungon ka, wala sila katungod kay private property man na nimo. You have the right to defend yourself. Sila mo'y wa nila hunahuna ang kuan. Sila mo'y ma-down or makasuhan ana. Next is article number 13. This article states that everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence within the borders of each state. Everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and to return to his country. So, for example, if you want to work abroad, then you have the right to go there. Next is article number 14. In this article, everyone has the right to seek and to enjoy in other countries asylum for persecution. The right may not be invoked in the case of prosecution genuinely arising from non-political crimes or from acts contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. So, in this article, if example makalabag ka sa law sa laing country, you have the right to complain or tagan gyapon kag protection, like for example ang Philippine Embassy ang mo help, then mo forward na sa Philippines or mabala na sa family ug unsay mga nahitabo. Next is Article 15. Article 15, in this article, everyone has the right to a nationality. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality nor denied the right to change his nationality. So, in this article, muning diri nga part nga pwede ka na dual citizenship. If ganahan kang mag-travel or magkuan back and forth from Philippines to US, for example, then you have the right nga mo kuhag dual citizenship, or even pwede po ka maka-change sa imong nationality as a Filipino from Filipino to American citizen. Next is article number 16. In this article, men and women of full age without any limitation due to race, nationality, or religion have the right to marry or to found a family. They are entitled to equal rights as to marriage, during marriage, and at its dissolution. Marriage shall be entered into only with the free and full consent of the intending spouses. The family is the natural and fundamental group unit of society and is entitled to protection by society in this state. In this article, everyone has the right to marry and of course with the right age. Also capable of ending it like divorce, legal separation, and annulment. Another thing is, since family is the most important part of the society, they need to be protected by the state. Next is article number 17. In this article, everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. So, everyone has the right to have property. And kailangan po na kay kasulatan, or you have the exact documents in having your property. Next is article number 18. In article number 18, everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom either alone or in community with others, and in public or private to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. So, na kay katungod nga mo change sa imuhang religion. Pwede pa from Roman Catholic to Iglesia ni Cristo. Ano na, you have the right, you have all the rights because it is your life. Next is article number 19. Everyone has the right of freedom of opinion and expression. The right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontier. So, you have the right to share your opinion. You have the freedom. But, kailangan po, dili na masobrahan imuhang example, imuhang idea nakakuan nas uban or naka-disturb or sanang natumba nimo nang katungod sa uban. So sayop na pod na kuanan ni overpass sana ni na over na nimo pagkuan imong rights. Next is article number 20. In this article, everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. No one may be compelled to belong to an association. So, dili pud ka pwedeng lugson nga mo belong ka ng association. Kaya you have the right to choose man. Of course, you have the right to choose. Next is article number 21. Everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country directly or through freely chosen representatives. Everyone has the right of equal access to public service in his country, and the will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. This will shall be expressed in periodic and genuine elections, which shall be by universal and equal suffrage, and shall be held by secret vote or by equivalent free voting procedure. So since Philippines is under a democratic country, as a part of its citizen, you have the right to be elected. If you want to become a government official, you have the right to be one. And of course, by the vote of the Filipino citizen through election. Next is Article number 22. Everyone as a member of society has the right to social security and is entitled to realization through national effort and international cooperation and in accordance with the organization and resources of each state, of the economic, social, and cultural rights indispensable for his dignity and the free development of his personality. As a member of the society, we have the right of security to a security on the officials or the police officers. Next is Article number 23. Everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and to protection against unemployment. Another is everyone without any discrimination has the right to equal pay for equal work. Everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity and supplemented if necessary by other means of social protection. Another, everyone has the right to form and to join trade unions for the protection of his interests. So this is with regards to the work of employment. So everyone has the right to have protection against unemployment. So kailangan if naay ka ng matangtang ka nya why reason, you have the right to complain. Next is Article 24. Wherein everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay. Of course, if under ka sa government na ay mga incentives, you have the right to have to take a rest of a vacation, or example if you are pregnant, then naay maternity leave. And sa father po na po paternity leave, which is 3 months. Okay. Next is Article 25. In this article, everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care and necessary social services. And the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. So, example, if you are part of the indigent family, makadawat ka na yung mga program sa government like Poor Peace, and kanang sa single parent na pod sila yung budget sa government. Next is Article number 26. Wherein everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory, technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. Another is education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect of human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. Another is parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. Munang na ay private schools and public school na po homeschool. Depende sa parents if na siya capacity. If ang parents low budget, so impossible pod nga makamit ang private school. So adto good sa public school. And now naman tayo libre naman ang ang tertiary school, which is college, na may libre ga-offer ang government og libre. And education is for all. All human beings have the right to be educated, to go to school. Next is article number 27. This article states that everyone has the right freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancement and its benefits. Everyone has the right to the protection of the most and the moral and material interest resulting from any scientific, literary, or artistic production of which he is the author. So everyone has the right to freely participate in cultural groups. Next is article number 28. Article number 28 states that everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. So everyone has the right to social and international order. Next is article number 29. Everyone has duties to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. In the exercise of his rights and freedoms, everyone shall be subject only to such limitations as are determined by law solely for the purpose of security, due recognition and respect of the rights and freedoms of others, and of meeting the just requirements of morality, public order, and the general welfare in a democratic society. Another is that these rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purpose and principles of the United Nations. Article number 30. Whereas nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, or person any right to engage in any activity or to perform an act aimed to the destruction of any of the rights and freedoms set forth herein. So, those who has or against the law na nilabag sa batas under the all articles from article 1 to 30 is punishable by law. No one shall walay mo against ani nga all the article given. So that's all the article, and that's the whole cover of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Hope you have learned something. Thank you, and God bless us all.